Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about the Chinese OS, UOS, which is a Linux based Chinese OS, okay, based on Debian. So for the UOS, UOS is for the for the paid version for commercial or business, and for the government only. But if you're looking for the free version, you should look at the Deepin version 20 is the latest one, so it's open source and it's for free for everyone. So UOS is just for the commercial. It's for the commercial one. Okay, let me see. Okay, here. This is the UOS. Okay, and when you check out the system information, you will see it's UOS Julian tag, and it requires the activation key, and if you don't have, you need to have a Chinese phone number and go to the Julian tag to here, go to Julian tag. See, go to Julian tag. Julian tag. You need to go to the Julian tag. Here. And you go to the no English version. Oh yeah, you need to go to the system OS, and here you go to the OS and you need to register for the so you get a key for it, UOS, or you type. So here, China UOS, you'll see more information on it, www.chinaosuos.com, right? And you can go to the here to download the x86 versions and ARM version, and also MIPS versions for the Loongson CPU, and sooner or later they will have long out the new instruction sets as well. And some way SW64 Sunway, other Chinese CPU also support, and so it supports a lot of different architecture, different instruction sets, especially for the Chinese CPUs. The point is that because nowadays many foreign sanctions for Chinese technologies and CPU and OS, so that's why they gather together and to make a unified OS based on Linux, because Linux is open source, so everyone can use it. So why don't you use the good one and with the good ecosystem? So I don't think it is necessary for you to starting from zero to develop the new OS. So they use the Linux kernel and then develop their own system. So I think it's also a Chinese OS, because you can see when you see the Android and Mac based on Unix, and Android also based on the Linux. So when you see those OSs, so it's the same logic, because it's open source, they based on the GPL or GNU license, so they just develop their own system with the Linux kernel. So I think the Linux kernel is okay, so they can call it the Mac OS or iOS, or many other US OS like Android. So I think as Chinese OS, because China can also have the power to develop their own kernel, but it is not necessary from starting at the beginning from zero to the top. Understand what I'm saying? It is not necessary, I think, and so to avoid the sanction and to provide the OS running with different Chinese CPUs, so UOS is born. So when before it was born, uh, there are so many different types of Chinese OS also based on the Linux, and so that's why they want to unify it, and this UOS is based on Deepin. So for the community version, it is Deepin for free, and this is a paid version for commercial. So you can see here, you can download whatever you want, and then after downloading it, you cannot use it because they just provide you about the 90 days. After the 90 days, and you need to pay, and that's the story. And why I can use it, because I bought a key from Hanyu Sanyu, which is a kind of like a Taobao. So people selling the key, activation key. I bought it around 300 RMB. So now it's activated before 90 days, and I was using it to the due day, so due day, and then I bought it. If you don't have the activation, you cannot use the terminal to install your software. There is restriction. You cannot have the root, so you cannot install whatever you want. You cannot type the sudo apt get install those kind of things. You cannot install software, so which is useless. So you have to activate your system. So for the first time, for the first 90 days, I think you need to have some Chinese phone to activate it first. For the free 90 days after that, you need to buy the key. If you don't have a Chinese phone number, I don't think you can also use the root. You cannot have the root. The right of using the root right. So you have to have a phone, Chinese phone. So let me talk about this. UOS is, you see, is the version 20 and 64-bit and activated, and I am using Loongson 3a4000 with the 1.95 gigahertz CPU. This is a Chinese CPU, meets long ISA instruction set, compatible with MIPS. So this is a Loongson 3a4000 CPU running this kind of system, 16 gig RAM. Okay, right? And this is kind of the UNA and those kind of agreement. So this is the the crop, and this is about the update or no update, right? This is very similar to the Deepin V20, but this is UOS, and Deepin. The problem is Deepin only provides the x86 versions for free, but for the Loongson long ISA mix ARM and some Y or those kind of instruction sets, they don't provide the architecture for it. So only UOS has it. Deepin has only x86 versions. That's why I need to use the UOS and then buy the key for it. Okay, right? And this is about the keyboard and then mouse setting and then the power management. Yeah, you can set those things in time and sound and network. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. The detail of it. Oh yeah. Yeah, here I see the IP address. Okay, 1000 maps and the color. I can do it, and you those kind of things, and you can have the WPS office. Okay, right. Here is the WPS office. It's just like work or something. Okay, alright. Those kind of things. Open a new one. Yeah, here. WPS Word one. And everything software you can have this just like this. You can also switch the mode. This is the efficient mode, and this is the faction mode. Here is faction mode is like map mode. I think this is better, right? And here you can see this like this. You can shrink it like that, like Windows 1. Just whatever you like. Sometimes it's like this is better, sometimes it's not that better. You can just make a choice. And there are so many, software you can have. Just go to the store here, the native store. You can search a lot of, software. You can have excuse me, you can have many software like CAD, Zhongwang CAD. You can use CAD. No need to use AutoCAD. You have the alternatives Zhongwang CAD, and those kind of software for the printer, WPS Office, input method, Chinese input, and browsers, TeamViewer like Weixin, WeChat, those card or something. Many software you can have, and dictionaries and ranking. See so many software you can download it natively with this Loongson. If you have using x86, there are even more software, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, alright. So many software, Google Drive, and so on. And the communication, you see the WhatsApp like web version and music, and because I'm using Loongson, is the long ISA instruction set, that version. That's why the fewer software here, but at least you can have basic softwares like CAD and GIMP to edit the pictures, photos, and there's also games and many softwares, office software and reading software as well. Okay, that's so also developing software. For development, you see PuTTY. You can also have PuTTY, Wireshark, and to using the network, SSH and Telnet, and also your database or something. Make C++ code blocks for making C++ language for development. You can also have that downloaded. Very good natively. Many software you can have, GitHub or something, C++, Python, JavaScript, many development tools. Okay, alright, and also have the system management, printer, G product, and those kind of system management, printer. So many things, and system monitor or something, and also have the others. It's like Chinese Phantom, supporting Chinese printer Phantom, and also other things like this. Okay, alright. And You see the system here. You can also see here. You can also see my hardware information. It's a Loongson 3a4000 Chinese CPU here, right? Loongson Canon BIOS is the Loongson one, and the UOS 20 Linux 4.19 kernel, and Loongson 3a4000 and Canon 3a4000 BIOS and 16 gig, and HP SSD running, and those kind of things. Loongson lever card, Loongson Vivante GPU, and those kind of audio Loongson audio card, and those kind of things. And you can see the core CPU Loongson 3a4000. Okay, support those kind of those things. I implemented VZ and MSA, those kind of technologies, and instruction set mix, and architecture, and streamline, and also memory is the Sun Chinese memory, Chinese RAM, and also Gloway Chinese SSD. This is the M2 SSD. It's the HP one. I think I need to get rid of it later, and don't use the USA's ones. This is the only USA's one. I think I would buy the UNIC Jigong SSD to replace this M2, or Gloway to replace it sooner or later. And this is Gloway, the Chinese-made SSD, and you can see Gloway SSD, and the 3D card I'm using is the VGA here, Loongson, the internal one, the Loongson integrated one, and this is the Jing Jiao Wei, the 3D card, display card I'm using here. So it's not AMD, NVIDIA, ATI. No, this is the Chinese one, Jingzhou Micro. I'm using the GPU here. You can see obviously. Okay, alright. Those are the kind of those informations I'm showing you is the Loongson CPU, and use check back Loongson browser for especially for the Loongson. It's good optimized by the Loongson, so I'm using the Loongson browser, not the native browser. So this Loongson browser here, right? You can check back. You can play also the video here. What kind of video you want to play as well. Those kind of things like 3a4000, 3a4000, those kind of things. You can play the video very well. See Loongson CPU, right? Loongson CPU, just play for it. Video, no problem. Yeah, video, no problem.
今天呢，从这个可爱的大叔讲起，他的全。
It's the internet connection speed problem, so it lags behind.
是
Snagging.
理查德·马修斯托曼，他是著名的自由软件基金会的创始人。这个基金会最重要的成果之一就是开源运动，也就是说，程序员写的软件源代码要公开。
So, see the website, browsing no problem. With this UOS is very great, and kind of things I need to say. Browsing and some things I think is good. If you want to go to the Deepin, it's the community version for free Deepin. This Deepin.org. You can download the Deepin for your x86 version structure CPU for the laptop or for your computer. For my laptop, I have the dual OS Windows plus Deepin. In my x86 Intel i5 CPU, I'm using Deepin. For Loongson, only using the UOS because I have no choice, because here I need to download the latest versions of the the Deepin. There is no no MIS or Loongson versions, ARM versions. Otherwise, it's for free here. You can download it, and because it's not free, so I need to go to download the UOS paid version. Okay, that's it. See you later.